sports, Nigeria DR Congo set for high-stakes 2026 World Cup playoff finals. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, Channel 365, and on StarTimes, Channel 276. And now, the news in details. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, has elected former Minister Kabiru Turaki as its national chairman after he polled 1,516 votes at the party's national convention in Ibadan. The exercise also saw the expulsion of Nyesom Wike, Ayodele Fayose, Samuel Anyanwu, and 8 others over alleged anti-party activities and internal sabotage. However, the decision quickly stirred division within the PDP as governors Ahmedu Finturi and Caleb Mutfwang publicly rejected the expulsion, warning they could worsen the party's internal crisis. In the meantime, Taraba State Governor Agbu Kefas says he will officially defect from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress on Wednesday, insisting the move is driven by future and interest of the people of Taraba. He made the announcement while inspecting renovation works at the Jolin Nyame Stadium, the venue for his reception into the ruling party. Members of his cabinet have already declared full support for his decision ahead of the event. And now to legislative matters, where the House of Representatives has taken steps towards strengthening Nigeria's emergency healthcare capacity and improving the country's maritime and fisheries sector. National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick reports.
At plenary, lawmakers adopted several motions aimed at tackling critical national challenges. One of the motions mandates the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Development to immediately set up a committee that will ensure hospitals across the country are adequately equipped to handle emergencies.
The House convenes that if hospitals in Nigeria are equipped with robust emergency response system, needless deaths will be avoided, while Nigerians who require emergency treatment will have renewed hope.
The House urged the Health Technographic and Health Committee to immediately conduct a comprehensive audit of all medical consultants and doctors in all our teaching hospitals, including National Hospital Abuja.
Meanwhile, the Committee on Oceans and Fisheries, chaired by Akarachi Amadi, presented 3 key reports targeted at strengthening Nigerians' fisheries, marine, engineering, and driving technology sectors. The report emphasized research, training, and workforce development to enhance maritime productivity.
Act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria, Act Cap A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2024, to establish the Brackish Water Fisheries Research Institute, Ungo, River State, and for related matters, HB 2349.
In legislative business, a bill seeking to amend the NAFDAC Act to extend regulation to herbal drugs passed second reading. The bill, sponsored by Jesse Okejo Onukalusi, aims to improve safety and standardization in Nigeria's growing herbal medicine industry.
Nigerians take a lot of what we call local herbs, and this is medicinal and help in other countries. In the light of this, Mr. Speaker, this amendment will help us to define their role, to set up a regulatory committee that will be ensure that the herbal that are being used, the measures are stipulated in the Act, and the usage and the way it is procured, the hygienic places defined are defined.
The motions and bills now move to the relevant committees for further legislative action. From the National Assembly, Anita Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, the House of Representatives is pushing towards a landmark legislation that could make Nigeria the first African country to pass a dedicated child online protection law. The proposed bill seeks to shield children from online predators, harmful content, and abuse in the rapidly expanding digital space. Again, National Assembly correspondent Anita Patrick has the details.
The Child Online Access Protection Bill 2024, proposed by Representative Olumide Oshoba, has passed major legislative stages and is heading for final consideration before transmission to the Senate. Oshoba says the goal is clear: protect children from online exploitation while holding service providers accountable. He also revealed that the bill's timeline was slowed by adjustments to align with the federal government's new tax laws, especially provisions requiring service providers to contribute to online safety efforts.
We have aligned the bill to go in conjunction and sync with the new tax policy of Nigeria.
According to him, the legislation proposes strict penalties, including fines up to 10 million naira for corporate offenders and 5 million naira or imprisonment for individuals who violate the law. A major innovation in the bill is the creation of an e-commissioner, a new watchdog department under the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy. It will monitor harmful content, order takedowns, and sanction platforms that fail to comply. Oshoba explains that agencies such as NCC and NIDA will work with the new unit to ensure strong enforcement and safety oversight.
The NCC is a hands-on ministry agency, and you don't need that. They are agencies that function optimally, and they're going to be involved in making sure the digital space, because I need to commend them. They're already doing a very, very good job, but we need someone that is actually concentrating on the online space and protecting our children from harm.
If passed, this would become Nigeria's first comprehensive framework to regulate children's exposure to the internet and a major milestone in the nation's digital safety architecture. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick reporting for Global TV News.
Assembly and tell you that the Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched a major environmental and public health campaign aimed at reducing air pollution in the nation's capital. The initiative, themed Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja, was unveiled at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Conference Center by the Mandate Secretary of the Health, FCT Health, in partnership with IHS Towers. Kabiru Hassan has the details.
In an effort to tackle rising air pollution and promote healthier living, the FCTA, through the Mandate Secretary for Health, Adedolapo Fasawi, has unveiled a renewed campaign titled Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja. The campaign, Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja, focuses on discouraging open burning of waste, the use of firewood, indiscriminate tree cutting, and other practices that degrade air quality and endanger public health.
The focus of this is to address the renewed hope, is to tell Nigerians that if only we can put hands together and not wait for government alone, we can have a happy, peaceful and prosperous Nigeria.
A major highlight of the event was the distribution of gas cylinders to residents and alternative means to promote clean cooking and reduce smoke-induced illness. The campaign is fully supported by IHS Towers, the project sponsors, as part of its commitment to environmental sustainability. Representative of the IHS Towers reaffirmed their readiness to partner with the FCTA in initiatives that support clean energy, environmental protection, and community welfare.
The key component of the program is first of all to give the cylinder, which is normally costly, to the beneficiaries, filled, and then we will also provide free fills few times during this program. And then for those who watched the documentary before, one of the women said that the cost of this gas is actually less than the cost of charcoal and wood, and it lasts longer. So hopefully they also will be able to sustain the use of gas going forward.
The FCTA says the campaign will be sustained across communities, noting that clear air is essential for reducing cases of asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
Within the People's Democratic Party, PDP, as senior figures from the South, and Southeast accused the party's national leadership of breaching its own rules. The chieftain said the recent congresses and preparations towards the national convention were marred by irregularities, prompting legal intervention and renewed calls for reforms. Ramsey Enoch Agbo has the details.
At a media briefing in Abuja, leading members of the People's Democratic Party expressed deep reservations about the conduct of recent state congresses. According to them, the exercises were rushed, poorly coordinated, and failed to comply with the party's constitution and the Electoral Act. PDP Zonal Secretary for the South-South, Josh Tuna, said the processes leading to the congresses were fraught with procedural lapses. Tuna alleged that aspirants struggled to obtain nomination forms, while key guidelines meant to steer the congresses were either inaccessible or ignored. He said these irregularities forced him to seek judicial clarification.
I've jettisoned report of a high-level committee set up by the parties built and say they are going ahead with convention. Of course, this exonerates us and we are vindicated.
Other party leaders present echoed similar concern, urging the People's Democratic Party to urgently address internal rifts before they damage the party's prospect ahead of upcoming elections. They insisted that only a transparent rule-based process can restore confidence among members and reposition the party as an effective opposition.
In the suit filed by the former governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Sule Lamido, who was disenfranchised, who was not allowed to obtain form to enable him contest in the convention that was being planned. He was upset and annoyed, being an elder statesman of this party.
As the People's Democratic Party PDP prepared for its convention, the call for credible internal processes is growing louder. Party members say the leadership must act decisively to close ranks, rebuild trust, and ensure the party enters the next political cycle with a united front. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
The People's Party is pushing back hard against what it calls an attempt to mislead the nation's electoral body. The party is warning that the Independent National Electoral Commission to ignore a notice announcing proposed congresses and a convention allegedly issued by two individuals the party insists have no legal standing within its structures. Anita Patrick completes the report.
In Abuja, the leadership of the new Nigeria political party took a firm stance, declaring that no parallel congress or convention has been approved by the party. Addressing journalists, the National Secretary, Comrade Ogini Olakposi, Sunday said the party is appalled by what he describes as a deliberate attempt to create confusion ahead of its internal activities.
It is on that note that we have written a letter through my humble self and our lawyer to Independent National Electoral Commission to disregard any letter for notice of congresses or convention, fresh notice of congresses and convention of the Nigeria People's Party.
Ogini insisted that Dr. Ahmed Ajunji and Dikbo Olayokun, who circulated the notice, lack any authority to speak or act on behalf of the NNPP. He anchored the party's position on a judgment delivered by an FCT High Court on April 3, 2025. He says the court dismissed their suit and reaffirmed the legitimacy of the party's leadership under its founder and board of trustees, Chairman Dr. Boniface Okechukwu Anebona. He therefore urged INEC to recognize these executives and update its records accordingly.
As a judgment debtor, Dr. Ajuji and Mr. Olayoku has no right under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to parade themselves again as the officer of this party.
As political parties prepare for the next electoral cycle. The NNPP insists that clarity and legitimacy must guide engagement with the nation's electoral umpire. For now, the party says it will continue to defend. Anie Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
Express. When News Express returns, Nigeria, DR Congo set for high-stakes 2026 World Cup playoff final. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and business stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. That break. And now to business news, where the World Bank supported Ideas program has begun training over 3,000 Abuja youth in a 6-month TVET scheme backed by stronger monitoring for better outcomes. Jummai Manson has the details.
In her remarks, the National Project Coordinator, Mrs. Blessing Ogu, revealed that zonal monitoring and evaluation officers have been deployed to track trainee performance and provide the Honorable Minister of Education with regular progress updates.
We're having a person per local government that will be monitoring, forwarding their information to the M&E. We also have zonal M&E officers. Apart from the zonal M&E officer, there is a third-party monitoring that will at least to assess whatever we are doing and report to the Honorable Minister of Education.
Dr. Bright Omezuke emphasized that the collaboration between the Federal Ministry of Education, the World Bank, and 20 training service providers in Abuja demonstrates the federal government commitment to job creation and national development.
What we are looking at is the enlightenment to show them to understand why they are actually here, because some of them are already in the field. We already started the training, but they are yet to understand what it's all about.
Bright Omezuke praised the ministry, the National Project Coordinator Unit, and the Joint Planning Committee for the efficiency and encouraged trainees to approach the program with dedication, noting that their skills will contribute significantly to Nigeria's future workshop. Also speaking, the director and principal of the Federal Technical College, Orozo Omale O.A. Frank, described the Ideas TVET initiative as a milestone initiative aimed at bridging the gap between education and employment.
We view this initiative as a bold and timely response to the challenges of unemployment, underemployment, and the growing mismatch between skills and opportunities.
Frank commended the Honorable Minister and implementing partners for prioritizing youth empowerment and urged trainees to embrace the program with discipline and commitment. Some of the participants had this to say.
There are so many things I've learned that initially I did not know. Because growing up in the village, I knew about chicken, but the technology we are being taught about is way advanced.
So far so good. What I have learned, I really appreciate TVET because I have learned how to repair hardware.
As a young graduate, I've been thinking of how to start my life, but this opportunity coming, I'm really happy. Instead of going about looking for where to work, I feel like this is the right place to channel my strengths while I'm still young, learning the required skills, not just for now, but for the future.
Joint flag off of the Innovation Development Effectiveness in the Acquisition of Skills TVET initiative is all about entrepreneurship, and it's all about the youth, hand-on skills. Jummai Manson reporting for Global Television.
Nigeria CBN has reactivated its S4 electronic platform as the mandatory channel for submitting Treasury bill bids, effectively taking full control of government security issuances. The new regime begins with a major 700 billion naira T-bill auction scheduled for November 20, marking the formal end of physical or by proxy bid submissions by dealers. Analysts say the shift is aimed at eliminating price distortions, closing information gaps, and enforcing transparency in the fixed income market. In the meantime, Finance Minister Wale Edun has welcomed the decision by S&P Global Ratings to revise Nigeria's economic outlook from stable to positive, while affirming the country's positive rating. Edun said the upgrade confirms the progress of economic, fiscal, and monetary reforms under President Bola Tinubu's administration. With Moody's and Fitch issuing similar upgrades earlier in the year, all major global agencies now acknowledge Nigeria's improving macroeconomic direction. And now to the foreign scene. The Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 rebel group have signed a US and Qatar-backed framework agreement in Doha aimed at ending the long-running conflict in eastern Congo. The deal covers 8 protocols, with negotiations continuing on the remaining areas. Though violence persists in several provinces despite months of diplomacy, the agreement follows earlier mediation efforts involving Rwanda and Congo that were overseen by the Trump administration. The Central African Republic's Constitutional Court has approved President Faustin Archange Touadéra's candidacy for next month's presidential election, despite a petition challenging his eligibility. The court also cleared opposition figure Anisit George and 5 others to contest the December 28 election. Touadéra, a key ally of Russia, continues to face tension over Moscow's request to replace Wagner's group with the state-run Africa Corps as the country's security partner. Now, thousands of protesters have taken to the streets of Mexico City to demonstrate against violent crime and President Claudia Sheinbaum's government, leading to clashes that has left at least 120 people injured. Demonstrators targeted the National Palace, prompting police to use tear gas while arresting 20 people for offenses including robbery and assault. The protests were largely driven by Gen Z group angered by recent high-profile killings, including the assassination of European Mayor Carlos Panzo. And now to the world of sport. Nigeria takes on DR Congo tonight in Rabat, Morocco, needing a win to reach the intercontinental playoffs for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with the Super Eagles boosted by Wilfred Ndidi's availability, Shemia Jai's return, and Victor Osimhen's blistering form. DR Congo, who defeated Cameroon 1-0 to reach the final, also comes in strong with 4 wins in 5 games, and key threats such as Chance Mbenka, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Alex Tonzebe. Nigeria holds a historic edge with 6 wins in 7 meetings, setting up an 8 p.m. showdown that will decide who claims the coveted playoff ticket. In the meantime, Moroccan referee Jalal Jaid has been appointed to officiate the Super Eagles' decisive World Cup playoff final against DR Congo. Jaid previously handled Nigeria's 2-0 win over Rwanda in March and will be supported by fellow North African officials, including a VAR team from Algeria and Tunisia. The appointment comes as Nigeria intensifies preparation ahead of the crucial clash in Rabat. Still talking sports, the 27th Nigerian University Games NUGA 2025 basketball finals delivered electrifying matchups, with Nile University and ABU Zaria clashing in the men's final. University of Jos took on Nasarawa State University in a pulsating female showdown, an atmosphere that transformed the UniJos Sports Complex into the heartbeat of the university athletes in Nigeria. Global Television's sports correspondent Samuel Odi reports.
The male final between Nile University and ABU Zaria produced a tight and tactical contest, with both sides displaying strength, discipline, and remarkable individual brilliance, but Nile University secured victory. In the female category, the excitement soared even higher as the home team, University of Jos, faced Nasarawa State University in a contest charged with rivalry and regional pride. The game drew support for University of Jos Gladiators as they fought to secure victory on home soil. The Vice-Chancellor of University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, expressed delight at the quality of play and the atmosphere of unity the games has fostered, and he said University of Jos exceeded its expectations. INEC Chairman Professor Joseph Amaputan applauded universities for their commitment to the growth of sport and urged Nigerian FAs to take advantage of NUGA in scouting athletes that would represent Nigeria in the global stage. The SUG president expressed gratitude to all participants for adhering to the rules of the games, and she says the next NUGA edition for universities will yield a more positive result. Amid the intensity, the event was more than just a competition. It was a celebration of youth development, sportsmanship, and growing stature of NUGA as a strategic pipeline for national sports excellence. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
TV News Express comes to an end. Here is a recap of our headlines. Brought to you that the People's Democratic Party has elected Kabiru Turaki as its new national chairman at its Ibanjo convention, which also approved the expulsion of Nyesom Wike, Ayodele Fayose, Samuel Anyanwu, and 8 others for alleged anti-party activities. In business, the World Bank-supported IDS program has begun training over 3,000 Abuja youth in a 6-month TVET scheme backed by stronger monitoring for better outcomes. On the foreign scene, the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 rebel group have signed a US and Qatar-backed framework agreement in Doha aimed at ending the long-running conflict in eastern Congo. And in sports, Nigeria faces DR Congo tonight in Rabat, needing a win to reach the 2026 World Cup Intercontinental Playoffs. And that's it on Global TV News Express. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, Channel 365, and on Star Times, Channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen for watching.